So just a quick introduction. My name is Richard. I work for, if you couldn't already guess it, Kontrolit. We're a leading web agency based in South Somerset. We specialise in doing professional, profitable websites. So our customers have websites as a key part of their overall strategy. And we also specialise in high-end e-commerce websites. So if you're selling stuff online. So we've got designers, developers, and a whole team of digital marketing people that do all the special bits to make that website successful. Why am I doing this video? Well, we're on a mission at Kontrolit to de-jargonify, if that's even a word. Our industry's full of techies, it's full of jargon, it's full of language that most normal people don't fully understand. So we're on a mission to strip out all that jargon and talk plain English. And in this video, I'm going to talk about those hidden costs that most people don't talk about that can surprise them. I want you to go into this project, whenever it may be, with your eyes fully wide open. So let's get into it. So this project is basically for anybody building a website. If you're doing a DIY style website or you've employed a professional web agency to do it. If you're e-commerce, you'll still get good value out of this, but I might do a separate video for you guys because it's a little bit more complicated. But essentially, if you're paying thousands of pounds for a professional website, this is the stuff you need to know. So you just received your website proposal for your brand new website, but what are the hidden costs in there that they don't often tell you about? Look, if you are planning on getting a new website, brand new one, or you're migrating from an old platform to a new platform, whatever it may be, then price is really important, but that's just the beginning. The overall price that they've quoted may not be the total price that you end up paying. So in this video, I'm going to break down the website projects into different milestones. And then I'm going to go through each individual milestone and tell you that the more hidden grey areas that you don't always hear about. And I'm going to outline some of the areas that may actually cost you more in the long run. So let's get into it. So let's start by summarizing. There's 8 project phases, okay? Essentially, you've got a research phase where you sort of learn about your customers. Then you're going to have a kickoff phase where you work with the designer to get things right. Then there's a content strategy phase. So you need to think about the stuff that goes in the website and who's doing what and how. Then we have what we call a staging site or a beta site or a test site. It doesn't make a difference. This is your sort of pretend working website where you sort of play around with the usability. Then we're going to have some training. So you need to learn how to update your website. All websites these days will have a content management system. So you need to learn how that works. Then you're going to go live, and then you're going to have ongoing support. There's about 8 phases. So let's get into it. Number 1, research. Now, if you are employing a professional web agency, this is probably one of the most critical phases out of all of it. It's very easy. I see it time after time where people just dive into the design of the website. It is critical. Certainly at Kontrolit, we spend an awful amount of time in this sort of pre-sales environment. Who are your customers? Where are they hanging out? What do they do? Are they B2B? Are they B2C? Are they mainly male? Are they mainly female? Geographically, where are they? What are their do's? What are their wants? What are their likes? What are their dislikes? On top of that, you ideally want to know who your competitors are, what are they doing, what are they being found for? And there's lots of other things like keyword research and that sort of stuff. But actually, what you do here affects all of the other phases. If you don't do anything and your web agency hasn't done anything to do with that, then they may be making assumptions in the design phase and the build phase based upon what they think you need or what you think you need. And it's not what you need, it's what your customers need. So certainly how you design it, the content that goes in it, and definitely how you market the website all depends on who your target customers are. So it's just a warning, really. Please make sure you've got a research phase and then you know who you're targeting, where you're pointing it, and what are their needs and wants. So that's my first sort of warning. Then we have a design kickoff phase. This is where you sit down with the designer or the team and you work things out. Now, some of the areas that don't often get talked about are who's doing the images? Are you doing the images? Are you supplying it from your suppliers? Have you got a photographer involved? Because obviously there's additional costs there. If you haven't decided it, you may end up getting just stock imagery from the designer. They may just throw a whole lot of stock imagery. And to be honest, it's quite easy to see a website that's got full of stock imagery. Number 1, everybody's got great teeth, and that's not reality. So please have a look at that. Of course, videos is a key element, and you may want to start thinking about the words as well. If you're moving from an old website to a new website, as your business change, are you saying the right things? Well, that's fine, but who's writing that? Are you writing that? It's important to know. So that's a kickoff phase. Then it's a content strategy. It all merges into one, really. So the content strategy is really key. Who's doing the content, and more importantly, who's uploading it? It's what we call in the industry populating it. So it's not just a case of copy and paste, throwing it into your website. Someone's got to put that new content that's been created, whether it's by you or your agency, and it also needs to be styled up. So you might have an image with the text, and then you've got to sort of style it up. So it's really important to find out when you're getting in the proposal phase, who's populating it. And if your web agency is populating it, are they doing every single page? You might have 30, 40, 50 pages. Are they doing all that? Or are they doing some and then you're doing the rest? Because it's quite a time consuming. It's probably one of the most overlooked phases of a project, actually. It's quite time consuming. So after you've done the population, the design is all signed off as well. Then you have what we call at Kontrolit, the staging site. It could be a beta stage or a test site, whatever it may be. This is where you squirt in all the content you've created or redone, and you pop it into a working website. Number one thing to be aware of is, do you have a phase with this? Because with the smaller agencies, you can go straight from design to live and you don't get a chance to test and feel it. And it's really, really critical. In the design phase, you're looking at how the color schemes are, the branding and the look and aesthetics. In the staging site, you are now reading the words. Does it say exactly what we want it to say? And usability. In fact, we stay here for the longest period you do in the whole project phase, a number of weeks. Is this page linking to that page and all that sort of stuff? So it's very, very complicated. So please make sure you get a proper staging phase. After that, it's training. So you're using new software, new content management system. You need to be trained on that. Are you going to get charged for it? Sometimes web agencies will charge you for training or charge you for additional training. But the other thing to be aware of that's often missed is who in your business is in charge of keeping the website up to date. It's very easy to get a brand new website and it looks great, but if someone leaves it alone, it's going to go rusty in the rain. So you need someone or a number of people dedicated to updating the relevant news, blogs, showcase features, whatever it may be. Someone keep updating it. So that's just a warning there. Phase 7, that was 6, that's 7. I know how to count, that's okay. Phase 7 is go live. So often, with all the goodwill in the world, you've thought you've planned everything, but by the time you go live, you may need additional things, extra development, extra tweaks, extra things here. Unexpected costs always come out of the woodwork. You need to make sure you know who's doing that. Is it part of the build? If they are going to do anything, what is their hourly rate? How are they going to charge it? And this dovetails nicely into the final phase, which is support, ongoing support. Do you have a pack of hours to work with? Do you get half an hour, 2 hours a month? Use it or lose it? What is the hourly rate? Now, if you've got a professional website where you spent £5,000 or £6,000 to do it, once you've learned how the customers interact with it, you'll probably want to develop it over time. Please find out what sort of development and maintenance package do you get with it as well. So if you need to change something, how often is you're going to need to change it, and what are the rates? I've seen it too many times where people are stuck in their website and they can't afford to develop it over and over again. So there we go. There's 8 phases. Hopefully that made sense. There's lots of hidden costs. Please make sure that you get everything down, double check the proposal, check the T's and C's, and now hopefully you're going in there with your eyes wide open. Thank you.